Hello and welcome to Gradient's weekly roundup of key business and financial developments in Sri Lanka for the week ending 22nd July 2022. I'm Roshaanr and here are the top stories for the week. Ranil Wickramasinghe elected 8th executive president. IMF agreement delayed till August due to political instability. India to further extend support to Sri Lanka. Fuel issuance under QR code begins. Over 25,000 tourists in 17 days in July. We will also briefly look at other notable news that made it across to our news desk and wrap up with the capital markets update. In our main story this week, Acting President Ranil Wickramasinghe was elected as the 8th executive president of Sri Lanka in Parliament with 134 votes. SLPP candidate Dallas Alahappiruma received 82 votes, while JVP leader Androkumara Dissanayake received 3. Mr. Wickramasinghe will serve until November 2024, the remainder of the former President Gotabaya Rajapaksa's term. Moreover, it is likely that an all-party cabinet will be formed following the election. The Times Online reports, citing a senior Treasury official, that the staff-level agreement between Sri Lanka and the IMF has been pushed back by a month to August. This is due to the prevailing political instability in the country. Relatedly, on Wednesday, Kristalina Georgieva, managing director of the IMF, stated that it hopes to complete rescue talks with Sri Lanka as quickly as possible and that it was very deeply concerned about the well-being of the people in the country. On Monday, Indian High Commissioner in Sri Lanka, Gopal Bagle, speaking to the Indian Express newspaper, stated that India is willing to make more investments in Sri Lanka. He mentioned that the goal was to accommodate Sri Lanka's requests so that the country could address their foreign exchange issue and that it would like to continue bringing in additional investment as it will help the Sri Lankan economy develop medium to long-term capacity. India's support to date has amounted to about $3.8 billion. Issuance of fuel according to the QR code and the last digit of the vehicle's license plate number will be tested at several locations in Colombo from the 21st to the 24th of July. Kanchana Wijesekara, Minister of Power and Energy, stated that this program will be rolled out nationwide from Monday, 25th July on the completion of the pilot project. And adding that as at 4 p.m. on Tuesday, 2 million have registered. According to the SLTDA, tourist arrivals during the first 17 days of July reached 25,544. Encouragingly, the daily average increased to 1,503 from 1,095 in June. In July, the UK was the largest source market, followed by India and Germany. Meanwhile, the Sri Lanka Tourism Promotion Bureau is to commence a marketing campaign in the Indian cities of Chennai, Bangalore, Hyderabad, Mumbai, Delhi and Gujarat. In other news, as per Sri Lanka Tea Board, the country's tea production in June fell to 20.1 million kilograms, down 22% from a year earlier. Dry weather and ban on chemical fertilizer impacted, whilst current dollar shortages are affecting fertilizer imports. Tea production for the first half of the year decreased to 132.9 million kilograms, down 18% from a year ago. Purchasing managers' indices decreased in June. Manufacturing PMI declined to 44.1, indicating a setback in manufacturing activities on a month-on-month basis, while services PMI further dropped to 40.3, contracting for the third consecutive month. And now let's take a look at the weekly movement of the all-share price index and the S&P SL20 index at the Colombo Stock Exchange. The Treasury bill auction held on Wednesday, yields on all-term maturities significantly contracted from a week earlier. Of the 159 billion rupees worth of bids, 55 billion rupees were accepted. And here's how the rupee performed against the dollar this week. In other market news, GRI producer of specialty tires completed the second phase of its $100 million production capacity upgrade. The company notes that this investment increases capacity by 100% to an output of 60 tons per day. Sri Lanka Holdings divested its stake in Pulsar Shipping Agencies and the Pulsar Marine Services for 1.34 billion rupees to DP Logistics Limited. The two entities specialize in port and agency services, husbandry services, ship chandling, and ship supply services. And that's a wrap for this week. Follow us on LinkedIn and YouTube for more updates on business and financial developments in Sri Lanka. Until we see you again next week, thank you for watching. Stay safe.